Good morning, friends. How are you? I'm sorry, I'm actually 1 minute late. I was busy in an email. Happy Friday. It's Friday, the 6th of December. Great to have your company. Tanj here, Peak Performance Specialist for real estate and property professionals. Jumping on live. Good morning, Emily. Great to have you here as always. Shell, hey, how are you, gorgeous Kate? I probably should say, is it Shelley or Shell? Kate Ashton, good morning, my love. Getting ready for our nice big ride on Sunday. The sun is going to be shining. Good morning, Amy. Susan, great to have you here. How are you all? What is one word to describe how you're feeling this morning? Greg Pryor, hi, gorgeous. How are you? Talk to me about what exercise you did this morning, my friend. Mel, great to have your company, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Rapid Fire Fridays, where I come on to Facebook and Instagram Live. Hi, Fiona. Great to have you here on Facebook. G'day, Agent Aisha. Good morning. Good morning. What's one word to describe how you're feeling this morning? I'm curious. Amy, good morning. Hello. Oh, girls are winning this morning. We have a lot of ladies in the house. What's one word to describe how you are feeling like right now, even on this session? If you're driving, don't type it in. But if you're just hanging out, please type it in. I'm curious. Saying before that Rapid Fire Friday is where I come on Facebook and Instagram Live to reflect on the one-on-one coaching themes for the week. You're energized, ready. Ooh, love it. Sounds good. And then I just share some rapid fire tips to give you access to grow yourself, your people, and your business in the least amount of time. If I haven't met you, everything I do is designed to give you access to living a life that you love. I want you to be happy. I want you to be fulfilled, and I want you to achieve your potential. Oh, Greg is feeling healthy. That's a great place to be. How am I feeling? Ooh, how am I feeling? I feel, I'm going to pinch that word ready, Kate. I feel ready too. I actually feel ready. I feel ready for the day, ready for a coffee, that's for sure, and ready to share some great content with you. The first thing I want to share is a shout out to all my clients that have already hit Q2's target. Well done. Congratulations. You know who you are. And those clients that we are down to the wire for Q2, we actually, like one client's currently sitting at 16,000. Another client is around 26,000. So close. We've worked out their average days on market. We've done some strategies around their stock, and I'm so confident that they're going to hit their Q2 goals. So yeah, I love you, Amy. You're so supportive and encouraging of everybody else. So congratulations. And there are some clients that, particularly principals, that we've spent a bit of time coaching them on getting the best out of their people, which means they haven't been listing and selling as hard as possible, but we've got strategies around that. So we know that Q3 and Q4 is going to be a great result, and we're on track. And reset. Reset is really important. The first thing is, are you tracking your performance? Do you know how you're going? When I did the real estate of leadership report with Kylie Davis and CoreLogic around the 6 empowered leadership practices of envision, engage, embody, empower, evaluate, and encourage, the worst practice that this industry, it's not really good English. The practice that we as an industry do not do very well is evaluate. We don't stop to evaluate how we're going very well. And this is something that I'm really big on with all of my clients. We always, in our one-on-one, start with how we're going financially. The financial scorecard is just a result of your energetic output and how many problems you solved or how much benefit you add. So I'm going to say that again. Your financial result, your financial scorecard, is just an example of how many lives you've changed, how much contribution you were, the difference that you made. And the biggest theme for one-on-one coaching this week has been time, managing time, using your time wisely, reverse engineering your schedule to get the stuff that you need done, and not being a victim of circumstance. So I've been banging on about intentional weeks, so much so Mindset Mastery Monday next week is going to be, don't let the ding affect your ka-ching. Sound familiar, Kate Ashton? Hey, what have we got here? Oh, I don't know how to say that. Arahata Gata. Please tell me I got that right. Kia ora, hi and good health. Oh my God, hi to you. Bush Graham, Graham Bush. How are you, Graham Bush in the house? So I want to ask you, if you're watching this, how effective are you with your time? Time is the greatest commodity we have. That's all we have to really do the things that we want to do, whether it's around health, wealth, business, friends, family, spirituality, contribution, volunteering. And what I see a lot as a coach is we are often not empowered with our time, and we don't practice excellence. We're not conditioned for excellence. That's been another big theme this week. So how are we using our time? Great if you have an intentional week set up in your calendar, but if you aren't using it and time is using you, good morning, Patty, then that's going to be a struggle for you to achieve your goals. So intentional weeks are critical. What is an intentional week? It's just a template in your Outlook or a spreadsheet that you tell yourself what actions you need to do when. And if you're a listing selling agent, morning darling, you need to be prospecting AM, you need to get out and do your appointments PM. And one of the challenges that real estate professionals, particularly agents, face all the time is they are in scarcity mode and they want to be available and do everything for everyone, versus reverse engineer their time for it to really work with them. So I encourage my clients to make sure they allocate their specific appointment times in their calendar. So when they're talking to a vendor, they can say, no problem, Fred, I have 6 spots left this week, and Wednesday, the next available spot I would have to come out and see you is Wednesday, 4 o'clock. How does that sound? Now, there will be some clients that cannot, maybe they work night shift, they work afternoon, they can't see in more scheduled times. Of course, that's when you want to make the time available in the evening if they're not working, or in the morning. But if you are using the morning session being your prospecting time to go and do an appraisal, that's fine on the one-offs or the occasionals, but then you got to make up your prospecting time. And this is where people are making mistakes. They're not clear with their time. They don't take it seriously, or if they've done an intentional week, they're not sticking to it, and then they're blaming everything else, and they're letting the ping or the ding affect their ka-ching. So I'm going to be talking more about that on Monday. So I want to ask you, do you have an intentional week? For those that are on Facebook and Instagram, do you have an intentional week? Do you tell your diary what you need to do when, and do you follow it? Or is it a work in progress and you could do a better result in that area? I'm curious to know. Okay, so this did for Australia, a team of 40, and it was awesome, a 4-hour training around achieving your 2020 vision, which was super exciting. And I just want to reflect, because it's a consistent theme. There's one thing that is stopping everybody on the planet from fulfilling their potential. There's actually 5, but the third one is the main one. Whenever I do a training, whenever I do a coaching, and I unpack the 5 benefits that the ego gets out of sabotaging our potential, there's always one thing. Do you know what that one thing is? Let me ask you, do you know what it is? I'll tell you anyway. You know I'm going to anyway. Being safe and comfortable. The desire to be safe and comfortable, the desire to not take a risk, to not be seen as a failure or stuff up and embarrass ourselves, is the biggest handbrake to our potential being fulfilled, our dreams being realized, and our goals being achieved. I tell you, it is the number one thing. So the 5 benefits that the ego gets out of sabotaging ourselves is: 1, we get to be right about our crap beliefs about ourselves that we're not good enough. 2, we get to avoid responsibility and blame others for why we don't have the things that we desire. 3, and the main one, is our desire to be safe and comfortable, meaning we hang out in familiar territory. We don't like it there, but we know it there. We choose to hang out there. 4 is we're a victim of circumstance. We relate to ourselves like we don't have the power. And number 5 is we seek significance. So we create drama and chaos and swirl that takes us off our path. Does that make sense? Which one are you? And are you this one? The majority of us are here, so worried and scared about what other people will think of us, or that we're worried about failing and embarrassing ourselves, that we have handbrakes up all the time and we aren't able to fully flow and progress and move forward. And to me, this is the biggest shame, because you have amazing dreams, desires, hopes, ambitions, goals, magic to share with the planet and people, and you're concerned about what people think of you. You're worried about failing and stuffing up is stopping you from progressing. Now, are you likely to make mistakes and stuff up? Hell yes. But wouldn't you love to just slide into your deathbed, bruised and battered and sweaty and scarred, giving life a good crack, versus being in the box with all the stuffing and the sellotape with all your potential intact? I don't know about you, but I want to slide in, right? Just having a good go at life. So please accept my invitation of taking a look at, where are you stopping yourself? Where are you procrastinating? Where are you not doing the things that you desire because of fear and being safe and comfortable? So that was a big theme for one of the coaching sessions I did this week. The majority of the room just really recognized they've worried about what people think of them and playing safe and comfortable. And if you want to be the number one agent or agency in your area, in your demographic, it's not going to happen if you are worried about what people think of you. I'm not saying you need to go and be the next Lady Gaga, Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, or whatever, but be the best version of you. So that's a little invitation. So let me know if there's anything you want to share around that, because it's something that I'm super passionate about. Hey, gorgeous. Great to have you here. Kate, yes, we've got that. Oh, she's ready. Beautiful. Being brave sounds like a plan. Liz, Arohatagata, am I saying that right? Arohatangata. Anyway, please let me know if that resonates with you, and actually type in, what's the one thing that you've been thinking about doing that you've been sitting on and playing safe with? And if you just for a moment didn't let your fear sabotage the fulfillment of that dream, and you stood and stepped into, what would I love and what could I see is possible? Could you turn that love up? Could you crank that dial of desire rather than let fear inhibit your fortune or your fulfillment? Just one of the things I do for myself, if I'm feeling insecure, or I'm putting myself out there, or taking a risk, or I'm trying something new, and I can feel fear and insecurity kick in. Good morning, Kylie. Great to have you here. If I'm feeling fearful and insecure, I will stop and go, okay, what would I love? And we've got to shift our focus quickly on what we would love and start hanging out there, rather than sitting in the sediment and the quicksand of our fear. So yes, being brave sounds like an absolutely great plan. The other thing that was and survey for, hey Lou, great to have you here too, chap. Amy says, great strategy. Look, it's a really simple strategy, Amy. It's just like, you're feeling in a funk, you're feeling insecure, you're feeling fearful. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. We're typically worried about the stories we tell ourselves around what might happen. If you just stop for a minute and go, cool, thanks for sharing the fear, but I'm going to connect to, what would I love around this project? What would I love around this property? What would I love around this partnership, this friendship, whatever it is? Tune into what you love and ask yourself, and let yourself bask in the sunshine of that a little, rather than sit under the storm cloud of fear, catastrophizing what might happen. And then when you connect with what you love, you're going to start elevating some dopamine and serotonin. You're starting to feel good, and you'll get access to innovation and solutions that you will not get access to. So please, as we move closer to 2020, not only a whole new year, but a whole new decade, I would love for all of us to just enter this year a little more braver, a little courageous, a little more interested in fulfilling our desires, rather than worrying about what people think. Hey, Joe Marie, great to have you here too. Jane, Julie, Lou, I said g'day to. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching live, type in live. If you're watching record, type in record. Amy says, absolutely, visualize. Statistics show when you visualize the goal, or have a vision board or dream board, you increase your chances of achieving it by 67%. It's crazy. Thanks, Amy. Great to hear that you're live. So words of affirmation also is the number one desire for being seen and heard and valued and loved and appreciated in the industry. So I travel around a lot and speaking. We do a lot of assessment around the 5 languages of love and appreciation. If you haven't read the book or done the quiz, I invite you to Google 5 love languages. And hey, good morning. Great to have you here, Jane. Thank you. Okay, so it's Aro Tang Ta. Wow. Arotangata. Wow. What does that mean? That's amazing. Diana, for you. Hey, Diana. No, I want to call you Arahatungata. Definitely need to look in time management and face my fear. Trying does not mean I need to be perfect. Listen, my friends, and well said, Diana. Progress beats perfection all the time. I did a podcast yesterday with the Queen of Confidence. She said, introduce yourself. And here's what I said. I'm a perfectly imperfect, consistent work in progress. Listen, that's all we got, right? I spent years, believe me, trying to be perfect. I spent 6 months with one of my businesses trying to get the perfect logo. And my husband said, Tanja, I think it's time to get a client, don't you? And he was so right. Hey, Mal, great to have you here live, my love. So, like, where are you trying to be perfect? Where are you trying to get it right? Where are you worried about what people think of you? Where are you blocking and stopping the flow of your fulfillment and fortune and success and growth because of perfection? Progress beats perfection every time. The best thing you can do is just put one foot in front of the other. The only way you're going to find out if it wasn't the right step to take is by taking the step itself. So I encourage you wholeheartedly to be courageous and take steps forward. Arohatangata, I'm not saying it right, means love of the people. Being seen is my biggest fear. Okay, I'm going to call you Diane for now, just because I'm going to annoy people before I get this nailed. Why are you afraid to be seen, Diane? I'm curious. And if you could be a lighthouse for everybody else, I'm curious. On Facebook, if you're watching this, do you have a fear of being seen? Are you afraid to fully show yourself? And would you be willing enough, like Diane, to own that and really share that? I love your name. Meaning means love of people. I knew it had some kind of significant meaning. So words of affirmation is how we love to feel loved and appreciated, typically in this industry. What are the 5 languages of love and appreciation? Those that are regulars will have heard me talk about that. Yeah, Diane says absolutely. So what's the reason? What is the reason you're afraid to be seen? I'm curious. If you will share, that would be super insightful. Words of affirmation is the first one. Physical touch, and these are in no particular order. Physical touch and affection, quality time, tangible gifts, and acts of service. If you don't know what your love language is, if you have kids or a significant other, if you're a leader and you have a team and you want to make sure that they all feel valued and appreciated and acknowledged and heard and seen, then go online and look up the 5 love languages quiz, do the quiz, find out your love language and find out the people in your team. Love the love language is so insightful. Here's the thing about that, and I've already done a whole mindset mastery on the 5 love languages. You can have a look at the tmjcoaching.com.au and go to the TMJ TV page. If your love language is acts of service and the other person's is tangible gifts, you're going to be really nice doing things for them and helping them, and they're not going to feel loved, but you're like pouring yourself into them, and they're going to be giving you gifts, and that's nice and thank you very much, but you'd rather they help you clean your car, or you'd rather they put on a load of washing, or you'd rather they vacuumed or something else. Okay, so understanding what your predominant love language is and that of the people you live and share your life with, access to access to forge greater and stronger relationships. Another big theme for this week, so a lot of this week was training and coaching, and also really working with my one-on-one private clients to make sure they absolutely nail their Q2 goals, because we're so close. I would rather be behind the scenes That's okay. That might be your personality profile, Diane. So there are many people that would rather be behind the scenes. As long as you're fulfilled there, as long as you feel fulfilled and happy doing whatever it is that you choose to do behind the scenes. If you're behind the scenes because you're hiding, you're worried, you're concerned about what people think of you, that's you not fulfilling on your potential. Good morning, Fairy Mary, the Chief Energy Officer of Little Creatures. Great to have you here. I miss you, darling. I was thinking about you yesterday. Another big theme that came up this week as I was coaching on training was this philosophy of being a human doing versus being a human being. Let's look at this. Doing means we operate in an orientation of what do I need to do to have the body, have the man, have the woman, have the car, have the job, have the this, have the that, have the this, have the that, have all the things that I need to have, and then I can be happy and deeply fulfilled. That is force, that is exhausting, and that doesn't give us access to our natural genius, and it goes against the natural law and flow of the universe and Mother Nature. The best thing we can do is stop being a human doing, addicted to doing all the things we believe we need to do, and start being. Sounds all, spiritual and woo-woo. What does that typically mean? Morning, Mary. What does that mean? It means you're being, and you can either be being empowered or disempowered, on fire or, in the coals, giving life a crack, fear of stuffing up, living above the line, living below the line. It's really simple. You're being empowered or you're being stuck and oscillating and disempowered. Most people are here. Most people are scared what people think, worried to give life a go, scared of failing, scared of being seen, scared of stuffing up, think they're not good enough, think they're not qualified, and all this potential lays dormant. And then there's these few over here that are clear about what they want. They're not obsessed about what people think of them. They go for their dreams and desires, and they give life a good crack. And they know it's never going to be perfect, but progress beats perfection every time. So who are you being? Are you being disempowered or are you being empowered? Because whoever you're being will determine what you do or don't do, and that will absolutely influence what you have or don't have or produce for yourself in your life. Unfortunately, I am not. I want to shine. Doing stories on Instagram scares me so much. Yeah, see, this is what I suspected, Diane. 50-50 says Amy. Hey, Pauline. Paulie D, Soul Doula, great to have you here, my love. I suspected this, Diane. Just energetically, I felt in your post that even though you say you prefer to be behind the scenes, I didn't feel that that was your truth, okay? And that's just my intuition. So thank you for being vulnerable enough to share. Most people don't want to be behind the scenes. Some people are super happy there and empowered. So I appreciate you actually acknowledging that. So what, if you were to take another look in service of yourself and others here, because you're not alone, I promise you, you're the lighthouse in the room right now. What's holding you back? Doing stories on Insta. So what I'm doing now, Diane, would scare the crap out of you, right? Like, this is unscripted. I've got a couple of notes on my whiteboard of key topics for the week, but I'm just flying from the seat of my pants, sharing some content that hopefully is helpful and not trying to get it right. Okay, so what is holding you back? Really, what is holding you back? It's the thing that holds us all back. So consider who we're being, and we're either empowered or disempowered, determines what we do or don't do, which produces what we have or don't have. And if you're someone that's being upset, disappointed, angry, annoyed, procrastinating, avoiding, you're likely not to do the things you know to do, and therefore you're very unlikely not to have the results you desire. If you're being brave, courageous, disciplined, focused, consistent, you'll take brave, focused, disciplined, consistent, courageous actions, and you will produce the results consistent with that. So my question for you today is, take a moment in your day as you sip your tea or coffee, or, curl up on the couch tonight, or whatever it is, even as you drive around, ask yourself, number one, Am I more empowered or disempowered in my life? And in the areas I'm disempowered, what is my definition? What am I believing? Am I believing I'm not good enough, that I don't have enough time, that I don't have enough money, that I don't have enough energy, that I don't have enough resources? Because when you believe that you don't have enough, whatever the resource is, and you use that as the reason you don't have your results, you make the resource more powerful than your resourcefulness to do what it is to do. Period. When you make the resource more powerful than your resourcefulness to create the life that you want, then you don't have the power. Hey, Kate Ashton's joined on Facebook now. Does that make sense? Let me know with a thumbs up, smiley face, whatever it is. Pardon me. We love it when you fly. Thanks, Greg. When I just fly by the seat of my pants. You know, this thing called a beautiful and interesting dynamic gig. And I don't know about you, but it just blows my mind every single day to see how many of us are stuck and struggling and suffering unnecessarily because we are trapped in the past things that happened to us. But I promise you, it is never what has happened to you that determines who you are today or tomorrow. It is what you decided as a result. When he left you, when she left you, when you failed, when you got the answer wrong in school, when they laughed at you, whatever you decided, you determined that's who you are, and that is your cloak of life. Today, I want you to get naked. Today, I want you to just take that gear off and stand in your truth and look at the mirror and ask yourself, am I happy? Am I fulfilled? And if you get a no or are not fully 50, get interested, curious, because 1 minute we're here and the next minute, dust. And we are people floating on a rock in space, thinking like we're not good enough when we're actually freaking miracles. So please inquire in yourself today. What action could you take? But more importantly, who do you need to be? Do you need to get some focus? Do you need to be clear? Do you need to be disciplined? Do you need to not let the ding affect your ka-ching? Tune in for Mindset Mastery Monday for productivity and time management hacks. Really, what is there for you? And what are you willing to do? And if you need any support or you want any accountability, then DM me and say, okay, Tanj, I'm willing to do this. So Diane, if you're worried about what people think of you, what have you put here? Absolutely scares me. My dream is to do a program about generational trauma. Okay, great. But to be up in front of people would be vital. Yes. Jasmine says, yes, so true. Not good enough is my core issue. Hey, Diane, welcome to the club. Really? Oh, thanks, Mary. God, I love you too. Welcome to the club. I don't know if you know this club, but this is the world's biggest secret club. We are all in the club of not being good enough. We all got that pass. We typically earned that pass at around the age of 2 or 3. We're all in the same club. But some of us just believe that that's a life sentence versus some of us knowing something happened to you, Diane, in your past, and you made a decision that you're not good enough, just like I did. My invitation to you is, what is this costing you? What is the cost to you and your dreams and your potential and your relationships and your impact on the world and your influence on people and your earning capacity and your lifestyle when you stay stuck and dormant in a belief that you made? I promise you, something happened, you decided you're not good enough. Eek, that sounds so freaking scary, but I'll try with taking off my cardigan. I love that. Take off the armor. Stuck and trapped. Been there myself, says Patty on Facebook. Honey, thanks, Patty, for being so vulnerable. We've all been there. We've all had shit happen to us. I promise you, it is never what happens to us that determines who we are, is what we decide as a result. When he left you, when she left you, when you failed, when you didn't get that goal, when you didn't make that sale, when you lost that listing, when you stuffed up, when you fell flat on your face, that's not the issue. The issue is we decide, I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable, I'm not worthy, he's better than me, she's better than me, and boom, we pull the power away. We disconnect from our source. And we are freaking miracles floating on a rock in space, walking around like we're not good enough. And you know what else we do? We're worried about what people think of us. Guess what else? Everybody else is doing exactly the same. There's about 2 to 3% of the planet that aren't. They're the ones that are actually having the greatest impact, influencing people, being of service, and then earning the remuneration according to it. Thank you, Amy. Who else have we got here? Claire. G'day, Claire. Thanks for tuning in. Claire, we're talking about where are we holding ourselves back and where can we be brave and courageous, but what is the handbrake? And, you know, Diane was sharing that she knows she's worried about what people think of her and it scares her. She wants to get up there and talk about generational trauma, and I'm assuming, Diane, the access to shift it. Now think about what's possible. You know what it is? What I'm doing now is the #1 feared thing on the planet. Speaking in public, right? Whether it's on stage or on Facebook and Instagram, this is 1 and death is 2. People would rather be in the coffin than deliver the eulogy. People would rather be dead than be vulnerable and communicating from the heart and stuffing up and being unscripted and whatever. Like and have people and risk people judging them. The question is, if you have, Diane and everybody else, if you have ingredients in you, magic in you, which you all do, we all do, and you don't share it because you're worried about what people think of you, where's your focus? Your focus is on you. And my invitation is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get your focus over there on other people and they'll feel where you're coming from. I'm not interested in being perfect. I'm interested in progressing. And I'm not here any higher or greater than you. I'm here right with you, just sharing stuff that I've learned, that I know works. And I want to give you access to it. So my invitation today, take a look in your being. Are you predominantly empowered or are you predominantly disempowered? How is that impacting you, taking the actions you need to take, and how is that influencing the results that you'd love to produce? And would you be willing to take one action today in the areas that you've been thinking, praying, hoping, dreaming, wishing about? Because you're just going to suspend all disbelief that you are not enough, and you're going to flip that switch and relate to yourself from this moment on that you're a freaking miracle like the rest of us, floating on a rock in space that's being given this gift called life that is fleeting, my friends. As Wayne Dyer used to say, don't die with your music still in you. So it's my favorite topic. It's why I do what I do. And I moved to tears because listening and hoping. So became a mama at 15, then finally fought to get a degree as a psychotherapist. Okay, listen, Diane, you got a story to tell, honey. You can speak the truth for other 15-year-olds that were whacked in the face with this reality and need someone to talk to. I feel like it's not helping enough people who are vulnerable, so I want to empower. Yes, you must empower yourself first, and I'm going to end it there. You cannot give what you are not. You've got to empower yourself before you can empower others. So, Diane, my invitation for you and everyone is flick the switch from why me to what is there to learn. Give yourself access to live yourself out loud, and stop telling yourself you're not good enough and start telling yourself you're a freaking miracle, because you are. I really hope you got something for yourself today. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you, Greg. He's written, love you, what a morning. Let me know with a comment or a love heart or something if you got something for yourself today. If it was just a nice reminder. Thank you, Diane. I love your vulnerability. You are welcome. I love you too, Fairy Mary. Yes, Joe, thank you for sharing. Lovely, Tanj, great coaching to start the day. Let's all start the day like we're a freaking miracle and see where we go from here. Steph Dobro, hi, darling. Thanks for tuning in. We're just wrapping up. Kylie Charlton, thanks for the love. Please, 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 please flick the switch from suffering to, success by relating to yourself like you're a miracle and that you're beyond good enough, and just see what happens when you hang out in that space. Please remember, I will be here Monday for Mindset Mastery Monday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The theme for next Monday, Kate, you'll appreciate this, is don't let the ding affect your ka-ching. I'm going to be sharing productivity and time management hacks to help you have a breakthrough in stop procrastinating, get clear about what you need to do when, and have a breakthrough in getting conditioned for excellence. Because you can either have reasons or you can have results. I want you to have results. Great to meet you, Diane. Thanks for your contribution and sharing. Thanks for all your beautiful comments, everyone. Thanks, Patty. Love your passion and authenticity, Tanj. You're really welcome. I look forward to seeing you Monday. And also a quick reminder, next week I'm going to be doing an interview with the CEO for Refurb for Profit, Paula Tapia, I think that's how you pronounce it, Tapia. And we're going to be talking about how agents can earn more money whilst adding value to their vendors and landlords and getting them to optimize and maximize their assets. And it's going to be a game changer. So I'd love you to join us for that if you're particularly in real estate and you want to learn how you can earn more money whilst positively changing your clients' lives, both vendors and landlords. I love you guys. As always, in the words of the late, great Maya Angelou, remember, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Go be a freaking awesome human being. See you Monday, Diane. You're amazing too. Thanks for tuning in. Be brave, be bold, get out there. Thanks, Lou. You're a legend too, my friend. And if you feel inspired to tag someone or share it, please do. There's no free set of steak knives. I ain't selling nothing here. This is just my heart to yours. Go out there and live your best life, people. You're a freaking miracle. Okay, I love you. Have fun. See you to our friends on Insta. Bye. See you, Facebook.